Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. The time is 2:03 p.m. I'm officially calling this meeting to order. Attending by phone is Commissioner Leslie Duncan, in person Commissioners Bill Brooks and Chris Filios. And I'm going to ask, Madison, why don't you lead us in the pledge? How's that?
She doesn't look happy.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay then, so let's move on to the first item, which is the consent calendar. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on our business meeting agenda for November 24th, 2020.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Moving on to the payables list.
I move that we approve the payables in the amount of $815,078.10.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried to approve the payables list. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
I'd like to stick item 14 at the end of the agenda.
Okay, so item 14 is moved to the end, so that will become item 16. Thank you. Okay then, so moving on to the first of our action items, easement with Kootenai Electric Cooperative for Sunup Bay Rural Collection Site Solid Waste. JP?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Phillips for the record. The Solid Waste Department is requesting that the BOCC approve, sign, and have notarized the electric line right-of-way easement document for our Sunup Bay Rural Collection Site. Specifically, this site is located at 13284 West Sunup Bay Road. This easement is necessary to be in place before Kootenai Electric will proceed with installing electrical lines for street lights and other electrical needs on the property.
Okay. Any discussion? No? Motion?
I move that we approve the easement for Kootenai Electric Cooperative on the Sunup Bay Rural Collection Site with solid waste management.
I'll second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 2, approve Juvenile Justice Annual Financial Report for the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections and Juvenile Probation. Our Director, Deb Nadeau. Welcome, Deb.
Thank you, Commissioners. Before you, which is due on December 1st, is our annual financial report for the Department of Juvenile Corrections. Our Auditor's Department fills out this report for us every year, and I fill in the narratives for this. It matches the state funding that we received for Juvenile Corrections Act Fund, tobacco tax, and lottery.
Okay, fair enough. Questions for Deb? Motion?
Nope. I move that we approve the Juvenile Justice Annual Financial Report as presented by our juvenile probation for the Idaho Department of Juvenile Corrections.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Thank you, Deb. Item number 3, Memorandum of Understanding, also known as an MOU for Emergency Evacuation Center for the City of Post Falls Office of Emergency Management. Rachel?
This is Rachel Irish for the record. This is just an update, extension of this MOU, changing contact information. This is for an emergency evacuation site for our Veterans Services Office.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding of the Emergency Evacuation Center for the City of Post Falls and the Office of Emergency Management. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 4, request utilizing fund balance for emergency loader repairs for the 1992 loader snow groomers. Nick?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Nick Snyder for the record. Commissioners, we have discovered a significant amount of deferred maintenance and brakes, hydraulic lines, and some other items that need immediately repaired in order for us to continue operations, or I should say start operations for snow groomers. Unfortunately, this was not on our budget. We couldn't have anticipated these failures as part of our equipment rehab. For the program, we discovered it just recently. We're looking at upwards of about $20,000. We're hopeful we can hold that at $15,000. That's the estimate, but I am requesting $20,000 from fund balance today. The auditor's office has provided some fund balance information at $72,893, so we're requesting $20,000 of that in our efforts to get the loader repaired.
Okay, any questions for Nick? Clearly something that could not have been forecasted, Nick, is that correct?
Yes, Commissioner. As you know, the department was transferred to us in March, and we didn't even start assessing equipment until late May into June, so the budget had already moved forward. And by the time we got to the loader, which was just recently, compliments of COVID, it's just when we discovered these things.
Fair enough. Dina, anything to add? I'm sorry.
Balance.
Go right ahead. Leslie, go ahead.
It's all restricted funds.
Okay. All right then. Motion.
I move that we approve the request to utilize restricted fund balance for the emergency loader repairs not to exceed $20,000.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 5, I'm sorry, we just did that. No, same one.
That's one off on my ear.
Request to retain snow groomer auction funds from Rhineland Equipment Auction. Snow groomers again. Nick?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Again, Nick Snyder. Yes, we are requesting to retain the auction funds and those funds to be placed back into the snow groomer account. As a matter of fact, we could use those funds toward the repair of the loader that we just discussed. I know typically funds are deposited back into the general fund. However, these were user fees, and they paid for the original equipment, and it would certainly be a good use of the funding to put it back in the fund balance to support the program. So that's our request today. The amount is $1,187.50.
I'm okay with that. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Leslie, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, motion.
Yes.
Go right ahead, Leslie.
I move that we approve the request to retain snow groomer auction funds and to be placed back in the restricted snow groomer account.
Bill?
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Okay, item number 6, approve new boat purchase from the Vessel Fund, KCSO. Lieutenant Higgins?
Yes, Lieutenant Higgins, for the record. What we're asking is basically a pre-authorization to start looking for a new patrol boat for Lake Pend Oreille. Currently on Pend Oreille Lake is a 21-foot 1993 Sounder, which is kind of like cuddy cabin that is, as you can tell, outdated. It's almost 30 years old. We are putting in a used motor in it right now because the motor's shot, and so it's time to upgrade that boat. However, a new patrol boat for that type of water, which is what we want to replace, it'd be that safe boat that we have on Coeur d'Alene Lake, run about $350,000 to $400,000. So what we're looking for is to start searching for a used boat, and we found a few of them. However, they vanish very quickly once they hit the market. So we're looking for a basically your approval to spend up to $120,000 to purchase a boat once we find it. The funds would come from the vessel fund balance. There's currently $342,000 in the Sheriff's Department side of that fund balance. So there's plenty of dollars available. These boats are ranging anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000, but the 120 will give us a little bit of cushion. Plus, if we have to add any equipment to it, if we do find that. However, if we don't find one in this calendar year, then this request will be pulled, and we'll look at other options for next year. That's kind of what their request is now.
Okay, fair enough. Any questions for Lieutenant Higgins?
Yeah, Lieutenant, was this part of the budget process? Did we know that we were going to have this boat need to be replaced in 21?
No, we didn't know the boat went down, the engine went down until October when we pulled it off for maintenance. We pulled it off for maintenance, and there was significant problems with the engine that was unrepairable. Originally, it was going to cost us about $40,000 to put a new motor in. However, with some trading and some dealings with our mechanic, he was able to put in a used motor at a fraction of the cost, which will get us by, but it's not going to be a permanent solution. And so we're looking to find a more permanent solution.
Thank you.
I move that we approve a request for a new boat purchase vessel through the vessel fund with KCSO.
Not to exceed 120,000. I'll second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 7.
Chris, before you go on, I apologize for the interruptions. I started wearing my mask, and when I take it off, it flips my hearing aids out.
So you had to reset.
And it's obviously set something weird, so I apologize
enough.
to everybody for the interruption.
Understood.
I really do.
Okay, it happens, Bill. It's okay. All right, thank you for that. Okay, item number 7, approve change order number 2 for the Armory Project Gino Construction, Shawn Riley for the Sheriff's Organization. Go ahead, Shawn.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Shawn Riley for the record. This is change order number 2 for the Armory Project with Gino Construction in the amount of $43,840.25. You have before you a breakdown on page 1 of all the different things that come with this. The fire suppression system for the kitchen hood is a little over $5,000. We need to re-roof the existing canopy on the front entrance for about $4,300, and then we're going to provide and install a new 460-volt rooftop mechanical unit for $28,873. We have the money in the CARES Act, and talking to Rachel and Tiffany, we're good to go on this. So this should be the last large change order. I think there's one more small one coming, but all of the materials and the labor and everything is still on schedule to be done by the end of December.
Okay, fair enough. Questions? No? Okay, motion.
Nope. I move that we approve change order number 2 for the Armory Project and Gino Construction in the amount of $43,840.25.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item number 8, approve change order number 7 for the Fairgrounds RV Park Project. Once again, Shawn Riley for the Fairgrounds. Go ahead, Shawn.
Yes, Commissioners, this is the last change order for the Fairgrounds RV Park. This is change order number 7. Basically, what this does, this change order balances the cost of the project. So we take into account the, gravel, asphalt, et cetera, that we said we would need versus what we would need. We just balanced out the quantities. So at this point, we're approximately $8,500 lower than the original contract amount. We have until the end of spring next year, so we're looking at some fencing and some irrigation around the CXT building. But basically, just signing this balances the project and allows Stewart Construction to move forward with applying for their retainage.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good.
So what's the net amount we're looking at?
The net amount that we're looking at right now is right around $8,500 under budget. But there are some irrigation things and maybe some slats in the fencing that Jerry and Alexia are going to try to pursue come next spring. So the plan is to try to spend most of that money and just get everything, a couple extra things completed that we weren't sure we were going to get before.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion?
I move the,
Just one-
I'm sorry, go ahead, Leslie.
On to, I show a $17,000 credit, so,
Right.
17 minus 8 would be the additional that's looking to be spent, correct?
That would leave you about $9,000, Shawn?
That is correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shawn.
Okay, thank you. Go right ahead, Bill.
I move that we approve the change order number 7 for the Fairgrounds RV Park project with the fairgrounds.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 9, lease agreement, finally, Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Station number 4 at the Fairgrounds. Board of County Commissioners, Leslie?
Yeah, are there any representatives from KCFR?
Yes, Chief Way is here. Chief, and he's coming forward to speak.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity. On behalf of our board and our administrative staff, we appreciate your working with us over this. I believe we've accomplished all of the issues through both your legal department and our legal department over the course of the last few weeks. And my understanding in talking with Commissioner Duncan this week is we made one final change that we were fine with yesterday, just in the description piece. And so we're hoping that we can finally get this signed today so that we can, and then if you sign it today, we will sign it. We have a special meeting on December the 2nd where we will plan on signing it, and then we'll get you your first installment of the payment.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions? Okay.
No, just one comment. Just want to say thank you so much, Chief, and I'll make sure that Terry gets the right signed version over to you guys for your signature.
Thank you, Commissioner, and I appreciate all three of you being willing to work with us, and we're very excited to better serve our citizens in Dalton Gardens with our fire district there, and I think this will serve the fairgrounds as well, and have a public safety building there for a lengthy time to come. So we're very excited to get this moving.
So thank you, Chief, and our guests, Joe Dolefeld and Jerry Johnson. Thank you all for this. Okay, Leslie, motion.
I move that we approve the lease for Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Station number 4 to be located at the fairgrounds.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Thank you. Item number 10, conveyance of AIN 128085, Medicine Mountain Grange number 84. Community Development Director Callahan. David.
Thank you, Commissioners. This seeks your approval to transfer land to the Medicine Mountain Grange number 84. You may recall this is the item on which we briefed you on. The land is unsuitable for any other purpose than a cemetery. It's been taxed as a cemetery for some 40 years, and we have talked with the Grange, and they're willing to accept the land, so we're asking you to transfer it at this time.
Okay, any questions for David? Motion.
I move that we approve the conveyance of AIN 128085 Medicine Mountain to the Medicine Mountain Grange number 84.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 11, approve the replacement of the heat and air unit at Court Hold Facility, Apollo Mechanical Contractors, Buildings and Grounds. Oh, Greg, here you are.
Greg.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead, Greg.
Basically, we turned on the unit this year, and it wasn't working. We got it working, but we need to replace it before it fails. I know the building's gonna come down maybe in a couple of years, but we have to have it for the deputies and the inmates.
And what do we look, is that the $7,800?
This one is
A price not,
$81.75.
$81.75, okay. All right, any questions for Greg? Motion.
I move that we approve the replacement of heat and air conditioning unit in the amount of $88,175 for the court hold with Apollo Mechanical Contractors.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Thank you, Greg. Item number 12, approve the replacement of a condenser, a DX coil at the admin roof, buildings and grounds. That's this building. Go, Greg.
This is basically to get the HVAC or the AC running in HR. It's just a separate rooftop unit up there. It went down the end of last year, so we're just kind of trying to get it fixed before spring hits.
Now, is that the one that's 7,500? Okay, thank you. Okay, motion.
I move that we approve the replacement of the condenser, DX coil on admin roof for HR.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item number 13, approve the replacement of a 1993 Ford F-250 with a 2020 Ram 2500, buildings and grounds. Go ahead, Greg.
It's the 93 Ford F-250. We use it to, it's got our lift gate on it, so we use it quite a bit for moving and everything. It's diesel. We took it into the shop, it was making a noise, and they said, get rid of it, it's on its last legs.
Okay, and is the 2020 Ram already ordered?
They have it in stock, so we can pick it up as soon as you guys approve it or not.
Okay, and how are we paying for this?
I'm gonna try to take it out of my budget. We just wanna make sure if I do go over at the end of the year, you guys would make me whole again.
Okay, I see the sticker here. Okay.
Depends on what all you order on the truck.
It's gonna be pretty nice.
Stop. Okay. All right then, motion.
I move that we approve the replacement of the 1993 Ford F-250 with the 2020 Ram 2500 for building and grounds.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion's carried. Item number 14 is moved to the end, so we'll move on to the new item 14, which is updated employment practices and procedures. Sylvia, our Director of HR, go right ahead, Sylvia.
Sylvia Proud, HR. On October 6th, the Board of County Commissioners had issued requirements on processing adverse employment actions as stipulated by the Idaho County's Risk Management Program, their insurance policy, and since that time, our civil attorney, Darren Murphy, has been working with the ICRIM's attorney, and they've modified what needs to be reviewed between the two entities. So they're removing suspensions and demotions, and the only thing we have to review with ICRIM is terminations, and that's effective immediately. So there's a memo before you to issue to all elected officials and countywide management indicating the new procedure.
Understood. Any questions for Sylvia? Motion.
I move that we approve the updated employment practices procedure, which has to do with terminations and our policy with ICRIM.
I second the motion. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. The new item number 15, Resolution 2020-82, correction to the City of Rathdrum Ordinance Number 595 for their urban renewal plan, and it's the Silverado Urban Renewal Project, Board of County Commissioners. So Dave, you've reviewed this? I have not. Looks like Pat reviewed it. Okay.
It's on
Are we ready to go?
I believe so. I haven't heard anything different.
Okay, so why don't we, go ahead and make a motion and we can make it a pending confirmation of legal review.
Commissioners, I can say, it is indicated here that Pat Braden reviewed it. He prepared an opinion. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's not in here if there is an opinion, but it does look like he did review it and
Okay, fine.
it's okay to be approved, I think.
Okay, go right ahead then.
Okay, I move that we approve the resolution 2020-82, correction to City of Rathdrum Ordinance Number 595, Urban Renewal Plan / Silverado Urban Renewal Project.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Okay, so the final item, which is item 14, that was been moved to the end. Kootenai County Mask Policy BOCC. Bill, this is yours.
This is mine. I'm afraid a lot of people are going to be disappointed in this because I didn't, it's not a big deal. I think there's been way too much made of mandates and no mandates and mask mandates and no mask mandates, and it's gotten to be it's gotten to the point of it's becoming a dividing element in our county. I would ask one simple question: how about a hand washing mandate? Now raise your hand if you'd have a problem with that. Yet studies have shown approximately 66% of people after using the restroom do not wash their hands. And if you want to stop COVID in its tracks, do everything you can do. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I'm not going to mandate it, but I think it's a good idea, but I'm not going to mandate it. I'm also not going to mandate hand washing. How do you enforce that? You have little cameras over the sinks, and we're not obviously mandating social distancing. We try to, so I'm going to make it sweet and short. And I'd ask everybody to do the best they can in every area they can, because what's going to happen is we're going to shut down this county. We're going to hurt a lot of people that rely on the tourist industry, restaurants, not to mention others that we don't even think about. And a lot of these people are at the lower end of the scale where they don't have a salary. They are hourly. And when they're laid off, they can't make their house payment, they can't make their car payment, they can't buy food. And we're digging the heart right out of Kootenai County if we don't do everything we can. So without saying, let's mandate it, and my understanding is, talking to legal, we could mandate it. I wouldn't be in favor of that. We've shown already that mandating is not the answer. And I wanted it at the end, so public comment from my fellow commissioners first at this time or afterward. Other people can comment on it, but let's not make this an item that divides us. It should be an item that unites us.
Okay.
All done.
Okay. At this point, I'll open it up for public comment. You can take 3 minutes. Does anybody wish to comment?
Boy, after that, nobody wants to.
Okay. Yeah, please come forward. Name and address.
Hi, I'm Sandy White, 939 West D Court, Haiti, Idaho. Yeah, I agree with you that it's very divisive, and I think that I was listening to the last Panhandle Health meeting on the YouTube. I was there at the meeting, but I was outside. I couldn't get in, so I was out in the freezing cold for all that time. And on the YouTube, I heard different people say that the main reason that they want to have it is because the hospital is overwhelmed. And now, see, I have a problem with that, yes, we don't want our hospital overwhelmed, but I also heard Janice McGeehan, Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan, speak this morning, and she was saying that she was looking into other options, like can we make other emergency provisions, like field hospitals or something that can be reused. And we got Shopko across the street from the hospital. Couldn't we expand the hospital a little bit, and rather than forcing a medical device on people that rather than over the Christmas holidays and Thanksgiving holidays, having us being divided by this issue of having to wear these masks. And I have very personal convictions about this because I see the people being divided as the masked and the unmasked. And we see people reporting each other and calling the police and going up to each other. And I've had people come up to me in the stores and shame me for not wearing a mask. And I'm saying that I'm a child of immigrants, a grandchild of immigrants. My grandparents came here from Russia, from Poland and Russia in 1902. And they started their life here. They raised 11 children. And one of their sons, my Uncle Dave, went to World War II, fought for our freedoms, and was killed in Holland. And it was over rights. And I feel like the division between the masked and the unmasked is almost like what went on in Germany between the people wearing the stars and not wearing the stars. And I feel like the unmasked people are getting looked down on. And I feel like these things are very divisive. One of the comments that was made in the Panhandle Health meeting was that, let me see if I can find it here.
I'm letting you go beyond the 3 minutes, but go ahead. No, it's okay. I don't want to cut you off. Finish your thought.
Yeah,
Go.
let me find this one comment. It was that, sorry, I can't remember. But it was very important. Oh, where they said we have to stop the toxic minority narrative that pushes us around. And it's time for the quiet minority to take back the conversation. And I see that as being a very divisive statement, calling us, you're two minorities fighting against each other, but one's toxic and one's not. Who makes that decision? Who's the toxic?
Good question.
So thank you so much for considering this today.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Tina, would you like to speak?
Add my 2 cents in support of Ms. White and say that regardless of what side you're on, if you behave like a bully, you're the toxic minority. And I've seen it from both sides of the mask thing, and I think it's very elementary.
I've got a great bumper sticker. Don't be a jerk. You take that anyway.
Fair enough. Anyone else? Hearing none, 2:37, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Very happy.